At midnight in the Karakum Desert, the Darvaza flame suddenly sank and revealed a distress beacon blinking below. The weak signal carried one sentence in the voice of geologist Leyla Anayeva, who had vanished 3 days earlier. The next morning, Alex Carter received the recording and saw coordinates located directly beneath the center of the fiery crater. Maya Reyes removed the methane interference and uncovered an old survey code hidden inside the signal rhythm. Captain Elias Ward recognized the code from a Soviet-era drilling station missing from every modern map. Desert guide Murad Atayev agreed to lead them to Darvaza, but warned that sand could erase a road within minutes. They prepared the Karakum 1 rover with the Falcon drone and gas instruments for the journey across the desert. Karakum 1 left the outskirts of Ashgabat and drove north into an endless sea of sand. Falcon rose above the dunes and detected fresh tire tracks running parallel to the team route. The tracks ended at an abandoned survey camp only a few kilometers from the Darvaza crater. At sunset, they saw that the Darvaza flames were far weaker than the images recorded in earlier years. Layla's tent remained standing, but her journal equipment and heat boots had been abandoned in disorder. A line of footprints led from the tent toward the restricted northern rim of the crater. As they approached, Murad's compass spun wildly, while Maya's gas instruments sounded warnings together. Inside the heated ground, Alex discovered a perfectly rectangular patch of cold sand. Thermal images from Falcon revealed a metal chamber hidden directly beneath the desert surface. Elias used the Karakum 1 winch to lift a steel plate and expose a buried hatch. On a surviving security camera, Leyla appeared entering the hatch beside a masked man. Before they could open the hatch, a massive wall of sand rose across the horizon. The team anchored the rover to the station and sheltered inside as the sandstorm swallowed Darvaza. Behind a decayed wall, Murad found a pipeline map leading directly beneath the burning crater. When the storm weakened, Elias opened the hatch and rigged ropes into an unknown depth. Falcon descended first and transmitted images of a metal staircase half buried by sand. Alex, Maya, Elias, and Murad descended one by one as the hatch above became a tiny point of light. The deeper they went, the colder the air became, even while the fire roared above them. The tunnel opened into a glossy black cavern shaped by heat and minerals. 3 steady knocks echoed from deeper inside and stopped when they called Layla's name. They found a research assistant trapped behind a steel frame but still conscious. The assistant said Layla pursued Viktor Sokolov after he stole the main pressure regulator. Viktor was a former drilling engineer who believed an untouched gas chamber lay beneath Darvaza. The regulator could open that chamber, but could also destabilize the entire methane network. The team sent the assistant back toward the station and followed the tracks left by Viktor and Leyla. The route carried them past salt pillars like towers and carvings left by ancient caravans. A stream of blue flame followed a rock fissure and lit the path like a cold river of fire. An old metal bridge shook beneath them above a deep shaft filled with hot gas. Half the bridge collapsed and left Alex hanging from his safety line above the shaft. Elias anchored the rope while Maya and Murad pulled Alex onto the remaining bridge. Beyond the shaft, they discovered an old drilling rig hanging inside the cavern like a steel skeleton. The knocking returned from a control room sealed behind fallen rock. Alex and Elias used a hydraulic jack to widen the gap and pull Layla free. Layla explained that Victor had gone to the central valve room to open a sealed borehole. Removing the regulator weakened the surface flames while methane accumulated inside sealed caverns. If Victor opened the borehole, the pressure could fracture both Darvaza and the camp above. Falcon followed a ventilation duct and located Victor in the valve room beneath the drilling rig. The team split into two routes to reach the valve room before pressure reached a dangerous level. Alex and Murad crawled through an old pipe while the metal trembled with each gas surge. Maya, Elias, and Layla crossed a valve corridor where wheels opened and closed under changing pressure. Victor sealed the control room when he saw their lights approaching through the corridor. Maya connected her tablet to the old panel and solved the lock through its mechanical sequence. At the same moment, Alex emerged from the pipe onto scaffolding directly above Victor. Alex saw Victor opening the main valve while the pressure gauge climbed toward danger. He warned that the gas well could not be opened because the cavern roof had been unstable for years. Victor refused to stop and pulled the borehole lever into its final position. A pressure wave tore through the valve room, broke the scaffolding, and threw Victor from the controls. Alex jumped down and pulled Victor away from the shaft instead of leaving him behind. The steel door opened and Layla rushed inside to recover the regulator before pressure climbed again. New cracks spread across the cavern roof and showed that the entire chamber was beginning to collapse. Layla restored the regulator, but 3 relief vents had to open at the same time. Maya located one vent in the valve room, another by the broken bridge, and the last beneath the crater. Elias stayed with Victor in the first vent, while Alex and Murad ran toward the broken bridge. Layla and Maya carried the portable controller into the tunnel beneath the center of Darvaza. On the surface, Karakum 1 automatically pulled a backup pipe under Murad's remote command. Alex and Murad reached the second vent, but the remaining bridge leaned over the deep shaft. Alex slid along the rope to the vent platform and locked himself to a column before turning the wheel. Maya and Layla reached the final chamber where heat from Darvaza made the metal glow red. Maya counted the signal rhythm, and all 3 teams opened the relief vents together. Methane redirected into the backup line, and pressure began leaving the sealed caverns. On the surface, Darvaza erupted in one final brilliant surge like a firestorm in the desert. The final tremor jammed the lift doors and blocked the fastest route back to the surface. Murad led them to an old maintenance ladder rising through rock beside the crater rim. Elias secured Victor to the rescue line while Alex climbed below to support his weight. Behind them, Layla and Maya closed the final valve to stop fire from traveling back into the tunnel. The team climbed from the maintenance hatch as the first dawn spread across the Karakum Desert. The Darvaza flames settled into small stable pockets and the gas instruments stopped alarming. A rescue convoy reached the camp and evacuated the assistant and Victor from the danger zone. Layla explained that the fiery crater came from geology, natural gas, and human decisions rather than the supernatural. The underground complex was sealed so scientists could monitor methane and ground stability safely. That evening, Alex and the others watched the quieter crater and believed the mystery had finally ended. Then Falcon suddenly received 3 knocks from a chamber deeper than every tunnel they had explored. When Alex sent a test pulse, the darkness beneath Darvaza answered with the same 3 beats. Beneath the Atlantic, a wrecked aircraft and a spinning compass still guarded a secret no one could explain. Years later, Alex Carter intercepted a faint distress call coming from coordinates inside the Bermuda Triangle. Maya Reyes analyzed the signal and discovered a repeating structure unlike any modern communication system. Captain Elias Ward recognized the coordinates as the place where his friends aboard the Orion had vanished years earlier. Despite his warning, Alex and Maya loaded their equipment onto Horizon to trace the signal before it disappeared again. As Horizon left port, all 3 understood the voyage might carry them beyond every familiar law of nature. At the triangle's edge, the sea became perfectly still, as though wind, waves, and time had stopped together. The digital compass and its mechanical backup failed at once, proving Horizon had entered an unrecorded disturbance. Radar revealed an invisible ring surrounding the ship while empty oceans stretched beyond every window. The birds ahead spiraled out of control and vanished behind a towering wall of fog. Elias chose to enter, as Alex and Maya sealed the deck before the gray mist swallowed Horizon completely. Inside the fog, Alex saw ancient masts drifting past like memories of vessels lost long ago. The radio suddenly carried dozens of distress calls from different eras, all repeating the same coordinates. A perfect storm vortex formed overhead and forced Elias to use full power against its pull. A massive wave swept the deck and Alex dragged Maya away from equipment sliding toward the rail. Lightning revealed a rusted cargo ship traveling beside them, yet not one person stood aboard it. Navigation showed Horizon moving in circles, even though the wheel remained straight and the sun never changed position. They recovered an Orion lifebuoy from the waves and found the water on it strangely warm. Maya traced a transmission from the buoy to the seabed, convincing them to deploy the Manta submersible. When the storm briefly weakened, Alex and Maya entered Manta and descended beneath Horizon. Manta sank through colder layers as the glow of the surface rapidly shrank above them. Depth gauges and compasses reversed repeatedly, as though the submersible crossed overlapping layers of space. A school of fish froze in the water before fleeing together from a moving light below. Manta's lamps revealed an intact passenger aircraft, but every seat behind its windows was empty. Beyond it lay a vast graveyard of ships, aircraft, and helicopters arranged around a deep trench. From the trench edge, Alex and Maya watched triangular lights moving slowly through the bottomless darkness. 3 black stone towers appeared, leaning inward and glowing like an ancient machine still operating. Manta lost all power and dropped into the trench beneath the harsh red emergency lights. Maya deployed the emergency lift bags just in time, revealing a golden-lit opening ahead. A chain of sonar pulses guided them through a narrow tunnel whose walls vibrated with the signal. The tunnel opened into a vast air cavern with an abandoned steel dock above mirror-still water. Alex and Maya left Manta and advanced across the damp platform with lights and sensors ready. In the darkness, they discovered Orion intact and trapped inside the cavern as if it had vanished yesterday. Everything on Orion's deck remained in place, but the entire crew had disappeared without a trace. The corridor clocks had stopped at different moments, and one suddenly ran backward before Maya. Wet footprints appeared and ended in the middle of the passage as a door opened by itself behind them. Inside the bridge, Alex found a journal showing 3 stone towers connected to a sphere at their center. Orion's old camera recorded a pillar of light opening over the sea and swallowing the ship. Then every light aboard Orion flashed as a deep vibration rose through the hull. Alex and Maya forced open the laboratory door, releasing freezing air from the sealed darkness. A black sphere floated above a metal platform and opened blue seams as Maya approached. Its energy pulse distorted the room and revealed visions of vehicles disappearing across many decades. Alex's radio caught Elias on the surface, but storm noise tore his urgent warning into fragments. Above them, Horizon circled a gigantic vortex while Elias fought the wheel inside the darkened bridge. Water began rising through the cavern, leaving Alex and Maya little time to find Orion's crew. They raced below deck, following abandoned survival gear through the trembling corridors. A small camp was still warm, proving someone had been there moments ago despite the lost years outside. A recorder played desperate breathing before 3 real knocks sounded from the steel wall behind Maya. Alex answered the knocks, revealing a hidden door that did not exist on Orion's plans. The metal passage slowly became ancient black stone and ended at a massive triangular doorway. Beyond it, Orion's sailors stood motionless inside pillars of light, trapped at the instant they vanished. Maya recognized the chamber controls as the same 3-tower system drawn in the journal. When Alex stepped onto the central platform, the sphere appeared above him and the stone rings began turning. A beam struck the cavern roof as time around the sailors rushed forward and snapped backward. The visions proved the missing aircraft, and ships had been pulled through an invisible gateway. Maya realized the towers created a magnetic portal, and the sphere amplified it into a passing trap. To close it, they had to reverse all 3 control rings before the next cycle completed. Alex and Maya held 2 rings, but the jammed 3rd ring spread warning light across the floor. Alex attacked the obstruction with a pry bar, while Maya kept the other rings from resetting. A crack burst open and seawater flooded the chamber, turning the repair into a race against the current. Alex secured a safety line and forced his way through the water toward the final control. The mechanism finally moved and all 3 rings illuminated together as the reversal began. Maya connected her tablet and pulled the final energy lever, changing the sphere from blue to gold. On the surface, Elias aimed Horizon into the storm's eye as a beam erupted from the seabed. The sphere cracked and collapsed inward, while the light prisons around Orion's sailors shattered. The sailors awakened in confusion, believing only seconds had passed since the day they vanished. Alex and Maya led everyone from the chamber as water rose and the ancient walls began collapsing. Some boarded Manta while the others entered Orion's lifeboat beneath falling rocks. Manta raced through the collapsing tunnel as Maya dodged stone, debris, and churning mud. The cavern sealed behind them as the submersible escaped and the three towers fell into the trench. A wave of light crossed the seabed and lifted them inside a spiraling column of water. Manta burst into the calm center of the storm where Horizon's rescue lights were waiting. Elias brought Manta alongside and welcomed Alex, Maya, and the Orion survivors back aboard. As the final survivor reached safety, the storm vanished with impossible speed beneath a sky of stars. Horizon left the Bermuda Triangle at sunrise, carrying the missing crew and evidence beyond imagination. On the bridge, Maya secured the data while the powerless sphere rested inside a protected case. When Elias silenced the final distress call, the mechanical compass pointed north for the first time. But that night, the radio activated and broadcast Alex's own voice from a moment that had not happened. The signal carried a date from the following week and warned that their portal was only one of many. Beyond the glass, a triangle of light reopened beneath the sea as the compass slowly turned toward it. In the night fog of Xochimilco, hundreds of old dolls turned toward an empty boat drifting through the canal. On the boat floor, a distress beacon kept transmitting the name of missing photographer Mateo Cruz. The next morning, Elena Cruz sent the signal to Alex Carter and asked him to find her missing brother. Maya Reyes discovered that the static concealed a bell rhythm matching an old water channel system. Mateo's final photograph showed him entering the island of the dolls moments before a shadow appeared behind him. Captain Elias Ward prepared a research Trajanera with sonar, a drone, and an electric motor for the narrow canals. When Alex and Maya reached Xochimilco, colorful Trajaneras moved between green chinampas and waterside homes. Elena explained that Mateo had been documenting storm damage when he followed bells toward the island. She reminded them that the story of caretaker Don Julian and a drowned girl was local legend rather than proven fact. Mateo's last recording carried one warning: never follow the bells when the water becomes completely still. Luz del Canal left the busy tourist routes and turned toward the quieter ecological channels. Elena spotted one of Mateo's red root ribbons caught on a branch ahead. After that marker, distant music vanished and even the sound of their own movement disappeared into the fog. Maya's sonar detected a small object moving against the current, even though the water was nearly motionless. Inside the doll head, they found a memory card from Mateo's camera sealed in waterproof plastic. The recovered footage showed a stranger removing a doll from a wooden shrine before running away. The final frame revealed a narrow branch canal hidden by reeds and absent from tourist maps. The shifting current forced Elias to navigate by tree roots and sunlight instead of the compass. Colibri rose above the reeds and found another red ribbon leading toward a hidden patch of land. When the fog opened, the island of the dolls appeared with hundreds of weathered faces staring from the trees. Elena asked everyone to respect the site and avoid touching anything unless it was necessary. As soon as Alex stepped ashore, bells sounded from the trees even though there was no wind. Fresh tracks in the mud matched Mateo's boots and led toward the old wooden hut. Maya's receiver confirmed that the distress signal came from beneath the hut floor rather than the trees. The front door was blocked from inside, and part of Mateo's camera strap hung from the handle. Elias found a broken side window and the team entered carefully without disturbing the objects inside. Inside, they found Mateo's tripod, a muddy rope, and a flashlight still glowing faintly. Dozens of dolls inside the hut all faced a floorboard fitted with a small iron ring. Alex pulled the iron ring and opened a narrow passage reinforced by old wood and tangled roots. Mateo's signal grew stronger below, so the team secured safety lines and descended one at a time. The passage was an old Chinampa service route where water once moved through wooden gates. Cold water rose around their ankles, and every bell tone made perfect circles spread across the surface. The receiver led them to Mateo's backpack, trapped beneath a broken support beam. Inside the backpack were spare batteries, medicine, and notes saying Mateo followed the bells eastward. The tunnel split in two, but only the right branch carried red threads from a doll's clothing. Elena believed Mateo used the threads as markers after someone removed his route ribbons. Deeper inside, they found small dolls hanging from fishing line like silent arrows. Maya realized that air vents moved the bells while water pressure carried their sound through the island. However, a hidden camera in the backpack recorded a stranger taking Mateo's equipment and fleeing east. Alex chose that route because the distress signal was now only a few dozen meters away. The tunnel ended at a large flooded chamber supported by timber posts beneath the island. Across the chamber, Mateo was trapped behind a fallen beam but remained conscious and called to Elena. The current between them was too strong to cross, and the old posts could fail under more weight. Maya found the sluice controls, but the main wheel was jammed by mud and roots. Elias used an iron bar for leverage while Alex cut small roots without damaging the main structure. The wheel moved only slightly before locking again as water continued rising around Mateo. Alex hooked a climbing line over a crossbeam to create an aerial route toward Mateo. Elena used her knowledge of the canals to identify a secondary outlet that could weaken the current briefly. Colibri flew through the narrow gap and found the outlet blocked by branches and plastic bags. Alex crossed the chamber on the rope while Elias held the anchor and Maya monitored the timber supports. Halfway across, a timber post broke and the line dropped close to the powerful current. Mateo threw Alex a secondary line, and together they secured the route to a large tree root. Alex reached Mateo, but the beam pinning his leg was too heavy for one person to lift. Maya guided Colibri through the outlet and attached a thin line to the blockage. Elias pulled the line from the chamber, and the outlet opened as the current rapidly weakened. As the water dropped, Elena and Elias crossed the lower platform and helped Alex free Mateo. Mateo explained that he followed a stranger who took a shrine doll before the tunnel floor collapsed. The stranger took Mateo's radio to avoid identification but missed the automatic distress beacon. Suddenly, the bells rang faster and the hatch behind them closed as the water changed direction again. The route back to the hut flooded, forcing them to find another exit before the storm arrived. Mateo remembered photographing a bird symbol near an old irrigation shaft. Colibri scanned the chamber and found the symbol behind a curtain of roots above them. Alex climbed first and opened a wooden cover leading into a dry shaft barely wide enough to crawl through. Elena guided the injured Matteo through the shaft while Elias watched the water rise behind them. The team emerged on the far bank and saw the rain-coated stranger leaving in a small motorboat. Matteo confirmed that the bundle held the shrine doll, and Elena insisted that it be returned. Luz del Canal raced through the dark canal while Elias steered, and Maya tracked the motorboat by drone. The stranger cut the boat lights and entered tall reeds, but Colibri still detected the warm engine. A strong wind knocked hanging dolls together, and the frightened stranger accelerated into the narrow channel. The motorboat became tangled in roots and water plants, allowing Luz del Canal to catch up without collision. The stranger was Raul Mendoza, an amateur collector who believed the doll would bring him fame. Raul admitted that he heard his name after taking the doll and believed the island was following him. Maya explained the bells through air vents and water pressure, but could not identify the voice Raul heard. Elena recovered the doll and reminded Raul that the island's objects belonged to its story and community. Both boats returned as heavy rain fell and water around the island rose quickly. Alex and Elena returned the doll to the wooden shrine, while Maya reopened the sluice system below. When the doll returned to its place, the bells slowed and Maya's instruments began working normally. Matteo concluded that tunnels, wind, and water explained much, but not how the beacon reached the empty boat. At sunrise, they left the island with Raul and reported the dangerous tunnel to local caretakers. That night, Maya reviewed the footage and saw a small childlike shadow beside the shrine when nobody was there.